What role does AI play in minimizing errors during the repetitive healthcare tasks?
Because it's very rule set, it's able to look at the various pieces and automate those processes. At the same time, it's also able to kick out those outliers. So if things don't make sense, it's able to kick those out and involve the human at that stage. So it's not completely human free in terms of if there are outliers, it'll search to see why was this an outlier and provide that report for the individual. So to be able to get that final input on those elements, which is really important. These are all fantastic kind of things, but on the other hand, as a result of all this power of being able to do all this analysis, it also opens the door for a tremendous danger of it being misused and not set up properly. So for example, when you're hearing about artificial intelligence and all these various tools, they're built on what are called large language models. They're built on databases, and they're built on, this is how they train and what they call teach the algorithms to sort of fine tune them all. But at the core of those is the data, like in terms we talked about earlier, the data in healthcare, the 2,500 exabytes. It has to be good data versus, you hear good data versus bad data. Bad data is it's misinformation, it's collected wrong, what's the context? And if you make your analysis based on bad data, you're gonna have a bad analysis. So all the more so, as much as it's been today, the care of knowing where that data's come from, ensuring that it is this good data, that it actually represents the information it's supposed to, and if the quality is at the level you need to, becomes incredibly important. Similarly, where's that data come from? Is it representative of the population you're dealing with? If you're doing the whole population, does it actually have the entire element in terms of the bias of the data? If you're collecting from just one particular group, but you're dealing with a large population, the results are going to be skewed towards that particular group and not to the large population. So when you're building the algorithms, which is where it all leads to, is, okay, what is the mathematics behind it all? You got to make sure it's dealing with any biases that the programmer may have unconsciously put in there, or the biases of the data itself. So there's a lot of guardrails that really need to be in check to build these pieces. And therefore, who's ever making decisions based on the information it's given need to know where all those elements are from and know what those biases are. And if they don't, be really careful to ensure that even though they're not making decisions, the insights are tied to the population you're dealing with and to your protocols themselves.